There's a lot weighing in on their director when they release their first film, but sometimes they get it right on the first try. Hey everyone, welcome to Cinema, where we focus on a film. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema, and today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 directorial debuts, which is the first film that any director has ranked in their personal career, whether they only have released one film or released 30 films, as some of the directors on this list include. So let me know down in the comments below how you would rank your top 10 directorial debuts, which are the best first time films that you've seen. And we're gonna go right into it. And coming in at number 10, we have Duel, Steven Spielberg's masterpiece, one that's just really good for the nature of this simplicity of the film. It probably had a smaller budget. It's just a simple horror type of film where this man is driving along the road when suddenly there's this big truck that's following him, and there's not necessarily any sense of drive to the person that's driving the truck, but the truck itself becomes a character, becomes a horror icon of a sense that you don't have a reason to know why he's after the man in the car. But this man is feeling the fear, and you see that translated on screen, and it goes in different paces throughout the runtime, and yet it's always on the move with all the antics that has to go along with what Steven Spielberg has brought for his first film. And coming in at number 9, we have Promising Young Woman, one that you do not know what to expect going into it. Just this simple woman and how they play in on the things of men taking advantage of different women and how they're getting all the right things, and what they do with this film goes off the rails. It is crazy and gets more and more insane what they do with this film, and what they have for Emerald Fennell as the director is incredible. The work she puts on, the visuals, the colors, and this is a newer director, obviously, for the film being released in 2020, and just what they have to offer for this, the characters involved, and the flow of the story where it leads to an end that I did not expect. It's just so incredible for something that's a first time work. And coming in number 8, we have Talk to Me. Yes, another recent one from these YouTubers, as we know. Just what they do for this horror film in the A24 film studio is just remarkable what they have to offer. The different effects, the visuals, the story of teenagers doing sort of stupid things that make sense to the characters that they're going into, following this spiritual realm and talking to this one hand that they make a big deal out of course, and just what they have going in for them is demonic possession that's going on a whole nother level, having one of the best endings that I've seen of just the year that I released, and just it's really hard to watch, but it sticks with me and really drives into horror force that it has going for it. And coming in at number 7, we have Reservoir Dogs. Quentin Tarantino's directorial debut is a feature that is not to be reckoned with. What they have with a job that goes wrong on a bank robbery, and all of these different characters realizing there's a traitor in the midst of them, and how they figure it out, the blood that pours out of all of the antics that goes on throughout, the arguing, the fast-paced editing, and of course the out-of-order sequences, or how he edits his film. It becomes progressively entertaining and engaging to the thrill that ride that Quentin Tarantino brings to us on the table. And coming at number 6, we have Ex Machina, another A24 studio film that is just incredible for its work, what Alex Garland has to bring to the table, bringing in such a promising film directorial career, and how he brings this experiment of this AI robot and bringing in someone to study her and everything, how they bring in that, and having a weird sort of romance that goes in RE directions, and so many different compelling narratives that brings a character out of an AI human that they're bringing out. It makes so much sense to a weird sort of vibe that is also horrific in some sense by the way they progress the film with a great pacing, and how Alex Garland brings this to the table makes this for a really good thing that really has held up within the careers that he has brought into his other films. Before we go into my top 5, make sure to like this video if you're enjoying it, and subscribe if you're ready to join in this film culture community, and make sure to comment down below your list of the top 10 directorial debuts that you have seen thus far. But going into my top 5, we have The Father, one that's really strong in its force, exploring dementia in a disorienting way, how they go about visualizing the picture through the mind of the father, where things get confusing but still simple enough for us to understand. Especially you pick up on more clues upon rewatch that it has the strong rewatchability. It's not confusing in the nature where it is not something you want to rewatch because you're confused. It has that nature that has the ultimate twist along the way, how you're revealing the natural setting and color editing to this effect has such a strong pull on the emotions, on how you're starting to understand and get in the mind of what this actor has to bring to the table. That's incredible, remarkable, and his performance is so enthralling for how well that this film is crafted as a sympathetic look into those eyes and into the mind of what this film has to bring to the table. And coming number 4, we have American Beauty, one that is really compelling for the nature of the film. Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening have great chemistry for being opposites of each other, for being against each other in this time a not lovely film for what they're going about, having this nature of unhappiness and exploring it in an unsettling way. Sam Mendes brings something great to the table that isn't a pleasant watch and yet pulls you in each and every time because of the visuals, because of the writing, because of how well it is edited and told, and having this chemistry on screen that people are against each other, people are cheating on each other, and how that brings into this youthful chemistry that they have with these other things, the laws of attraction and everything that flows throughout is just so unsettling in a way, and yet almost a comfort watch in the most opposite way, because it is very different for what it brings to the table that makes it so clever as a directorial debut. And coming in number 3, we have Hereditary, one that's bizarre, from Ari Aster, bringing into the antics of what he has brought so far with his films. Makes it to be one of my favorite directors, and for this film in particular, it's another film about possession, demonic elements that you're not really wanting to mess with, and how it affects his family, how it intrudes into the lives of these people, the jarring sequences that really hits hard on different twists throughout the film, makes it uncomfortable, makes it one of the more horrific films that I've seen, and still yet I enjoy it in a sense that it's weird because of the horrific nature, and yet it really pulls in me once again for its rewatchability and for how well it is crafted on screen, making me enjoy the art that it brings in, even if I don't rewatch it too much often. And coming number 2, we have Saw. Yes, another one that's horrific. It is not great in its writing, but it is so clever with its writing that it makes you pulled into this thing. There's different flaws along the way with how it is pulled off, but it still has the clever game antics that creates a great horror icon and a iconic twist of all time for what James Wan has to bring into the screen and what you get pulled off with this film. It is so clever in what it has to do and how it pulls up, leading you to question so many different things, how we got into this situation, how we got into this setting, and all of the characters involved leads off from one quest to another, different subplots that mean so much to the film, putting this film out of order in a sense as we discover more clues along the way, discover what the game is really about, makes this to be a fun, guilty franchise as a whole, but it started with this film that was really, really great for its own time. And coming in number 1, we have Tick Tick Boom, one that as a writer myself, I just really enjoy the emotional drive, the whole musical number, the score, how they bring in Andrew Garfield to have such a great thing, and having Lin-Manuel Miranda as the director to this film, coming off Hamilton and other musicals, makes it for a perfect look to what he has to bring for the table, the sets, the writing, the songs, and how they pull in all the witty remarks, the chemistry that Andrew Garfield has with the people on screen, and also the emotional ride. You have him as a writer for what he is pulling, for this realistic approach to what is pulling off, and just, it becomes a vibe that is to be reckoned with all the sorts of emotion that really pulls in me throughout the entire runtime and makes me want to rewatch it again and again. So let me know down in the comments below what is your favorite directorial debuts of all time, so we can have a nice lovely discussion in the comments below, and join in this community by liking and subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, so we can build up this film culture community where we love to talk about films each and every day. So that's just all. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.